Hello everyone, my name is Lovelesh saini, and today I'm gonna give a presentation on the subject of business environment on the topic of theory of full employment and income. Let's get started. Full employment is a situation in which who wants a job can have work hours they need on fair wages because people switch jobs. Full employment involves a positive stable rate of unemployment. An economy with full employment might still have underemployment, where part time workers cannot find jobs appropriate to their skill level. Income is the consumption and saving opportunity gained by an entity within a specified time frame, which is generally expressed in monetary terms. Two important theories of income and employment. Classical theory of income and employment is the theory is ascribed to early classical economists like Adam Smith, Ricardo, and Malthus, and neoclassical like Marshall, Pigou, and Robbins. First, an economy as a whole always functions at the level of full employment, that is, full employment of labor and other resources. Full employment level of output of goods and services is the largest output that the economy is capable of producing when all its resources are fully employed. Second, supply creates its own demand. Classical theory of employment is based on Say's law of market, which states that supply creates its own demand. This implies that supply creates a matching demand for it, with the result that the whole of output is sold out. Third, flexible system of prices, interest rates, and wages. Price mechanism automatically brings equilibrium between demand and supply in the market. Flexibility of interest rates brings out equality between savings and investment. Flexibility of wage rates brings about full employment equilibrium. As a result, the aggregate supply is always at full employment level of output. Keynesian theory of income and employment. Criticism against classical theory. Keynes criticized the classical theory, stating that the assumptions on which the theory is based are wrong and impractical. Supply cannot create its equivalent demand on its own, and therefore there is very every possibility of general overproduction and underemployment. Keynesian theory. Now, what is Keynesian theory is? With this background, Keynes, a British economist, propounded his own theory and in 1936 brought out his famous book General Theory of Income, Interest and Money, which brought about a revolution in economic thought. This led to the emergence of macroeconomics as a separate branch of economics. Now, this is the flowchart of Keynesian theory. As you can see, income, effective demand, employment, is subdivided by consumption and investment and so on. Aggregate supply. All entrepreneurs taken together employ a certain total number of labor who in turn produce a certain quantity of output. The total cost of producing the output by that number of men is called the aggregate supply price. Aggregate demand. Now let us take the demand side. When a certain number of labor is employed by all the entrepreneurs taken together and a certain quantity of output is produced by them and is sold, it fetches a certain amount of money. Now, outline of Keynes theory of income and employment. In an economy, effective demand represents the amount of money actually being spent on the entire output of the economy. In other words, effective demand represents the value of the national output, and since national output consists of two types of goods, consumption goods and investment goods, the value of national output is equal to the demand for or expenditure on consumption goods plus demand for an expenditure on investment goods. But it is easy to see that in an economy one's man expenditure is some other people's income. So we can therefore sum up as under: effective demand is equals to national income equals to value of national output equals to expenditure on consumption goods plus expenditure on investment goods. Now, this should give some indication of Keynes' theory of income and employment. We have seen that income and employment depend upon effective demand, and effective demand depends on consumption demand plus investment demand.